Hello, everyone. As I just said, I'm Ashley Baboota, and I'm a freshman. So compared to some of the other e-portfolios I've been shown so far, mine's a little bit raw. I first got started with it actually in my intro to business class, just like Catherine. And the only requirements we were given was that we should set one up, and it should have about like 2 examples of some work and your resume on there. So, I wasn't too excited with it when I started with it because it just seemed like I was turning my resume into a website. So I was like, all right, this is cool. But then when I actually got to looking at some of the examples, I was like, you can actually have fun with it because it's about you and it should be fun. So yeah, as a hospitality and tourism management major, my primary use for my e-portfolio is to show it to employers and hopefully get hired. And in the hospitality industry, one of our ideologies is to hire the smile. And the idea behind that is that, you can teach someone how to operate a hotel and follow rules and take inventory, but it's hard to find someone who's genuinely outgoing and, has a service mindset. So when I was creating my e-portfolio, I was kind of thinking to myself, like, how could I express that through this? How could I be that how could I be that smile that someone would want to hire? So, I decided to take a more personal approach to my e-portfolio and kind of have like a little bit of fun with it. Like I said, I'm only a freshman, so it's like raw and I don't have too many projects and experiences on there, but I try to at least put my personality in there and kind of give it a start and hopefully see where it would develop from that. So homepage is just like a little landing page just to say like a little thank you and quick contact in case you don't want to look through all of it, but still want to get in touch with me. I have a little about page that sort of describes my story with coming into hospitality industry and how, it started out with my family being into it. And one experience I had at a hotel where we were there to, we were actually there staying over for a funeral, and just the front desk attendant, who was probably only 18, was really helpful and like actually carried my grandma who was disabled, carried all her stuff up. And I think that was probably like the one moment where I was like, all right, I want to be in hospitality to help people. So, that's just my story behind that. I have my resume on there, obviously, which is one of the requirements, but I kind of had, changed up a bit. I made it sort of like a website where you could kind of click around, and then also like a downloadable version, which is not showing up right there, but you can, there's like a Word and PDF versions as well. I also have awards that you can kind of look through. And this is the one cool thing I like about ePortfolio versus a resume is that, I can say that as a, I did this work on this job, but on an ePortfolio, I can actually stick it up there and show my examples, which are not appearing right now, but if you like, otherwise there will be. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so I got, a couple samples of videos I've done, things I've written, which I need to update, and then, for on a more personal side, I want to put in like quotes, because I wasn't sure what else to put on there, so I was like, let me just put more of me, and these are just some of the quotes that, I find motivational, and hopefully will come across off to my employer as, someone they would want to hire. And following Virginia Tech, our common book this year was This I Believe version 2, and so I decided to create a This I Believe myself to kind of, get one point across about me, and that was you should never take education for granted because you never know when you're going to use it. And I actually got this from, I don't know if you guys are familiar with DECA, but it's an organization where it's a business competition that you compete in. And mine was a role play, and something we had to do was you go in, you have a scenario, and you have around like 15 to 30 minutes to kind of come up with a solution for it. And my scenario was there was an issue in my hotel with peeping Toms, and a guest had discovered that the guests in the hotel room next door had drilled a hole in the wall, and it gave us really bad publicity. So I had to come up with a security program to kind of prevent that in the future. And I was sitting there, I was like, all right, well, security cameras, extra guards, I'm pretty sure everyone else is going to come up with that. So what could I do? And I was sitting there, and time was running out, and all of a sudden I just had this vision of my chemistry professor teaching us something called Hund's Law, which I was never good at chemistry, but the one thing I remember is this Hund's Law, and it's this idea that in an atom, 2 electrons, I hope I'm right, but 2 electrons won't be in the same orbital until all of them are filled up. I was like, all right, maybe we can work on a reservation system that kind of won't put 2 rooms next to each other until the entire floor of the hotel is filled up. So I was like, all right, I got 3 minutes to go, let me just go with this. And actually ended up placing first for that event. So it was kind of one of those learning experiences where I was like, are, you should always be kind of open because you really never know where you're going to need something. And that's something it's pretty cool about the learning portfolio is that that's my philosophy now. But, maybe down the road it might be a little bit different, or I might have added on to this. And, that's the cool thing with ePortfolio is that you can showcase it for yourself, but for other people as well, so they can get an idea about you. And last page, if the mouse is, I don't know if that's going to work. There we go. All right, is it contact me? I have like the original one where it's just, fill in your name, email, but I also linked it to my LinkedIn, Hokies for Hire, and a direct email to me in case you don't want to use this little thing. So yeah, mine's mostly for, getting hired purposes, and I think ePortfolio is like a good way to showcase that because when people hire you, they're not hiring your resume, they're going to hire you. And, having an ePortfolio that kind of gives you as a person is a great way to showcase that. So yeah, that's all I really have to say for it. Thank you guys for giving me the time to kind of talk about myself and my ePortfolio to you. And hopefully it kind of gave you some ideas on what to do with yours. Thank you.